Welcome to another guide video. Today we're going to learn
how to desecrate the graves of the honored dead.
Grind Orbita Castle? Yes, that's what I meant. A few disclaimers for all you wannabe grave robbers out there. This is the hardest spot in the game right now. I actually don't meet the minimum gear requirements, but I have a ton of event buffs and a dream, so let's give it a shot. I'm approaching this guide from a perspective of safe grinding. I want to make sure you don't die and lose your, say, precious Dusky Bond crystal that you spent like 12 hours grinding out because you didn't get the full drop at Nymphomare, but that's okay. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that my suggestions are going to be more for folks who are under or just meeting the gear requirements for this spot. Even if you're at hard cap, I wouldn't recommend face tanking anything this spot throws at you. Here are the gear requirements and the drops. This is my current gear. This place has knockdown, so knockdown resistance crystals are a must. I used the new Super Perfume of Courage for a little more AP, and of course an Edania draft. If you are over cap, you can use a Deep Sea. For Lightstones, there are a few options. If you aren't at the gear cap, the new Edania Lightstone set is actually a pretty good choice for this spot. I would use it if I had it. I opted to use Vicious Shadows to get a bit more back attack damage. This is also not a bad spot to use Deathblow or target openings because the graves don't have back attack damage, but you can crit them. I would strongly advise against using all at attack because this spot hurts. If you have enough DP, feel free to give it a try, but I am not that brave. I treat this spot similar to how I grinded Dekia Ash 2 before the rework. Keep moving and don't stand in one place for too long. If these mobs back attack you, you're gonna feel it. Once again, I opted to buy a Marni Ticket so I could grind this spot in peace, and also because sometimes the spot could be a little bit buggy. I think they fixed that, but to be on the safe side, it is ticket time. Okay, let's talk mechanics. Activate the spot by attacking the large pillar in the center. This zone revolves around these gravestones or pillars. There are two kinds of pillars. I'm going to call them the pointy pillars and the, girthy pillars. Start by attacking the pointy pillars. Waves of mobs will spawn around the pillar, but keep attacking said pillar. Once the pillar gets below a certain health, it will explode and kill any remaining mobs around it. After this first pillar, a message about Sacred Lightning will pop up. This white circle is good. It gives you 5% critical hit damage and 30 more DP. It is possible to iframe these lightning circles, so be aware of that when you see it on the ground. Thankfully, they follow you, so you don't have to run too far out of the way to snag the buff. Move to the second pillar. From this pillar onwards, a Gravekeeper Golem will spawn. These are tanky mobs that can do a lot of damage. The initial red circle when the mob spawns actually isn't too bad, but everything else will chunk your health if you aren't paying attention. Keep focusing on the pillar. If you get this message, the golem is about to do a massive damage attack, but it is also more susceptible to damage. I usually opt to throw some range attacks to try and finish it off outside the blast zone. I wouldn't recommend moving too far away from this mob because at range, he will blast you with his laser, and you don't get the prompt that attack is coming. After the third pointy pillar goes down, this will take the fight to the center grave again. Another golem will spawn, but you have to take it out without the help of the pillars. Keep fighting the waves of mobs. Next, the second set of pillars, the girthy pillars, will activate. The second round is much the same as the first. However, after the first pillar, you get an enhanced buff. This Orbita's Light gives you 5% critical hit damage and 5% attack speed. However, it nerfs your DP by 30 points. After you complete this phase, the grave in the middle will become targetable. Keep smacking it. After it breaks, a Titan will spawn. It's a little spicy. It doesn't help that he lunges across half the map when he spawns, and everything he does damage. Save your E or Z buff for this fight. Position for back attacks and finish him off. After your hard work, you are rewarded with an AFK mechanic. Vibe out for a minute while the graves reset. Then, the cycle starts back with the first pointy pillar. That covers the basic mechanics. Honestly, this spot isn't too bad if you keep vigilant during your grind. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to see more of this type of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Bye for now!